Hey guys! So I have so many retail stories, as I worked in retail for 5 years before my current job. And I never thought that I would share them on the internet, but there's one that I've been debating sharing for a while now, and I think today's the day. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you guys about one of my retail experience stories. Now, I was fairly new to the customer service desk at this point in time. I worked in retail, like I said, for 5 years, and it was not until my 2-year anniversary with that job that I started working at the desk. But I know for a fact that I had just recently started working the front desk, and I was fairly new to it. At that job, there was a return policy where if you had an issue within the first year of purchasing the item, you could bring it back, but you had to have the receipt. So I was at the desk and a woman came up to me and she had some bed sheets and she wanted to return them. They were out of the package, they had already been used, I could tell that she had washed them, and they were fraying, like they were showing clear signs of wear and tear, fraying very easily. And so I asked her if she had the receipt. She said yes, and she gave me the receipt. I took a look at it and saw that the purchase was 2 years old. So these bed sheets were purchased from our store 2 years ago, and I was like, oh crap, now I have a decision to make. And I was nervous because I was fairly new to the desk at this point. It's either I refuse the refund and potentially piss off the customer, or I say yes and give her the full refund, potentially pissing off my supervisors if they ask me why I said yes to a return of a 2-year-old item. Now, quick side note here, I need to add this because it pertains to the story, but the supervisor who I called up to help me, we'll get back to it in a minute, but the supervisor who I called up to help me, they had helped me with a different customer earlier that week. It was a similar situation. I was at the desk, and the supervisor had told the customer no, they were not going to accept the refund. They weren't going to accept the return. And they told me that if the item was more than a year old, don't do a refund. But then there's me, who was having an internal moral debate of like, oh crap, do I bend policy and give the customer what they want and make them happy, or do I refuse them and piss them off? Like, I was like freaking out. And so I thought back to that situation that I mentioned before where the supervisor had said no, and I said, you know what, ma'am, I apologize, but it's a 2-year purchase, or 2-year-old purchase, pardon me, I can't accept it. So this woman goes off on me and she goes, get a supervisor, I don't want to hear you anymore, this is bullcrap, get it, like started flipping out at me. And I said, okay, I'll call a supervisor for you. As I'm calling a supervisor, I'm like apologizing profusely because I don't know what else to do. And she goes, shut up, I don't want to hear your voice anymore, shut up, be quiet, stop talking to me. And I just went silent. I'm like, okay, screw it, I'm not saying anything else. So my supervisor comes up and I explain the situation. And oh my god, this is so infuriating even now. This same supervisor, as I stated earlier, had told me to say no to any returns that were more than a year old. In an entirely different situation, had told me to say no. In this situation, I said to them, I go, okay, this is the situation, told them, and I said, I don't know what to do. I said no, what would you do? And they literally say to me, they go,
well, it's your choice.
What the f***? Like, really? Like, you're gonna do that to me right in front of the customer? Like, this customer's already pissed because I was following what you told me to do, and now all of a sudden, like, it's my decision? Like, are you kidding me? So I just, like, stood aside and let my supervisor handle it because I'm like, I'm not dealing with this crap anymore. Like, I'm getting verbally abused by this customer because I'm following what you told me to do, supervisor. And so I just stood to the side, let the supervisor deal with it. The woman got her refund, and then the weirdest thing happened. To get in behind the customer service desk, obviously there's like a door that you open and then you step behind the desk and then you're behind the desk. And so this woman says to me, she goes, oh my gosh, sweetheart, you know, I'm so sorry for yelling at you. And then she tried to come around the customer service door and she's like holding her arms out like this to me, and she goes, "Can I give you a hug? Like, I'm so sorry, I just want to hug you, like, I'm sorry for upsetting you." And I just couldn't handle it, so I just simply said to her, I'm like, "No thank you, please don't touch me, have a nice day." And she just kept like trying to give me a hug, and I'm like, "No, please don't touch me, please give me my space, have a nice day." I was more so annoyed with my supervisor because they made me look like a complete and utter idiot in front of this customer, which I wasn't very happy about. But yeah, the customer got her refund, and I just continued on at the desk like, what the hell else would I do? So yeah, that's one of my many nightmare retail stories. Anyways, thanks again for watching. If you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and also click the little bell icon down below so you're not missing notifications for when I do upload videos to this channel. Keep being awesome, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.